So, when Toy Story 3 was initially announced, the excitement from many fans for the series was overwhelming. The movie was 11 years in the making, and considering Toy Story was Pixar's most popular IP, the movie was bound to make Disney tons of cash, and it did. The movie was huge. I remember going to see this opening weekend, and man, was the movie filled with people my age who grew up with the series. Now it's time to revisit it. Is it worth a watch today? Well, let's talk about it. First thing, the movie literally takes place 11 years after the events of Toy Story 2. This was a very smart marketing move on Pixar's end because now you're making the audience feel like they grew up with Andy because he was pretty much the same age as you. The target audience can identify with the character on a deeper level, and I really appreciate that. I have always said that Toy Story 3 was the best movie in the series, and after rewatching it for this review, I still feel the same. Now let's jump into it. The animation in this film is just amazing. The movie looks stunning. I mean, this is what 11 years can do in terms of technology. The models are the best they've ever looked. Everything is high resolution, layered, and the fluidity of the animation is just flawless. This is by far one of the best movies Pixar has ever made. Truly perfect. The plot centers around the fact that Andy is leaving for college. The toys are fearful that Andy is no longer interested in them due to the change of interest. During the process of packing for college, Andy picks up most of his toys to be placed in the attic. During that, Andy's sister needs help moving boxes being prepped for donation to a daycare. When Andy leaves the bag in the hallway, his mom assumes it was trash and that the toys are about to be thrown out. Woody sees this and attempts to rescue them, but now they end up in the donation box with Molly's toys. The toys are then sent to Sunnyside Daycare, where they meet a bear named Lotso, who has a very thick southern accent and apparently smells like strawberries. Come to find out, Lotso is a savage who has taken over the daycare, and now the toys have to find their way out. I don't want to spoil any of the details for those who have not seen the movie, but this movie is probably the darkest film in the series, and personally I like that. We're introduced to many characters in the movie, Ken from the Barbie series, Lotso, Big Baby, and more. We also meet Bonnie, who become a very important character by the end of the movie. In terms of the new characters introduced, I really like Lotso, but the rest of them are really not that memorable. The movie has plenty of funny moments as well. The scene where the toys are excited to be played with, only to get tortured by toddlers, was hilarious. I also found the fact that Buzz getting factory reset, that was pretty funny as well. The movie also has some emotional moments as well. Most of you know about the infamous flame scene, but there are also some nice moments towards the end. So again, I encourage you guys to go watch it if you haven't seen it yet. The soundtrack revisits some of the classic songs from Toy Story 1, but outside of those pieces, I don't really remember much from this movie's soundtrack. As a whole, Toy Story 3 is my favorite movie in this series. This movie is the perfect balance between emotion and comedy. Despite some of the characters not being that memorable outside of Lotso, this movie does so much right for me. You top that with flawless, high-resolution animation. This movie was a joy to watch and revisit. Toy Story 3 is the perfect end to the series, but they made a fourth movie, so you guys know what that means. I'll see you next review.